the man himself from 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Ash is here. Ash, how are you doing?
Woohoo! I'm good actually. Thanks, Dom. Thanks. I love your cigar, by the way. You know what? I've never tried one before. Never had a cigar, but I'm looking at you now. No, I've never had one.
They're very good for you.
So,
Now, doctor, what
keep an eye out.
telling you?
That's
Hell, what do you?
that's my cigar.
Almonds?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are bad. Cigars are okay. So let's jump right into it. I know I'm gonna. Hopefully, I won't have to recap. Hello to everyone that's watching. And so, what is your current status with Avery right now? Can you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. We are not together. We broke up a few weeks ago. Still friends, still close, but we are not together at this moment.
Okay. So you were together because you stopped filming, what, 3 months ago?
No, we filmed last year. It was last year. It was around.
Jeffrey, hang on. Jeffrey's here. Hey, Jeffrey.
Hey Jeffrey, man, how you doing?
Okay. So you stopped filming when? I'm sorry.
So it's been, gosh, it's last year, August, September. So it was in the start of September that we filmed, and it was only for 2 weeks. And yeah, it's been since then. So
Okay.
last year, September.
You said you were together up until 2 weeks ago. Is that what you said?
A few weeks ago. So give or take. I think a lot of people already know about it now. So I think that's not a secret. But yeah, we've broke up like nearly 3-4 weeks ago, give or take.
Okay. So why did you guys break up, and who broke up with who?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but you know, there was a lot of from the show to real life. There was a lot of, so it's live on the show, so live Avery and Ash TV and our real life, I think, came merging together, and it was a lot of challenges we both had, because there was not only our relationship being revisited from the past, but then you have the opinions of millions of people telling you that many different things. So I don't feel we were both ready for that. We didn't really understand exactly what to expect until it happened. And when it happened, it was a shock. It's like a slam in the face. And I guess that was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of tension. There was a lot of revisiting the past. And that put a lot of pressure on the relationship. Plus, on top of that, it's a long distance relationship. So it put a lot of pressure on both of us. Breakup wise, let's say right now it was mutual.
Whoa, what was the last part? I missed it.
Let's say right now it was mutual, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, who broke up.
Okay.
Because I think that is left to the tell all. But yeah, there was a lot of challenges before we got to that decision to part ways.
Yeah. So can you say who was at the tell-all? I mean, we know Jeffrey wasn't there. Thank God, right? Can't stand him. I'm just joking. But only Jeffrey, I'm just joking. So so who was everyone at the tell-all except for Jeffrey? Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, there was Jeffrey and Varia were not at the tell-all, because I think you must.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this. So obviously, is Jeffrey and Barry still together? Jeffrey, what? Okay, this is Ash time. Questions for Ash. So, like, you know, you are a professional, right? So, what is your analysis of Avery's mental condition, and do you believe that he suffers from bipolar disorder?
Oh, definitely not. I totally don't believe that. She had a lot of, you know what, I have to say something very, and that's the thing. People saw our six months of being together. In 2 weeks, they saw life of a relationship that had a 6 month span. In 2 weeks, you try to understand everything, and in 2 weeks you try to have an opinion on that relationship. And at that stage, after 9 months of dating online, you meet the person for the first time. There's a lot of trust issues. There's a lot of, I won't say trust issues, trust challenges, because you don't know the person yet, and you're trying to get to know them. But in our circumstance, we were trying to get to know each other with a group of people around, and having in mind that there's going to be millions of people watching us soon. So there was a lot of pressure on both sides. But Avery is actually an amazing person. Like, she's so much fun. A lot of people, well, a lot of people like do text and do DM and asking if she's always that serious. Actually, she's really good fun. She's just we were just both in a state of yeah, there was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure during that time, and yeah, but she's a great girl. And,
right.
and I'm mom too, so.
But I mean, okay. And would you be willing to talk about her mental stability? Do you believe that she's mentally stable, or do you believe she possibly could be bipolar?
I think she's mentally stable completely, because being with, if she was not, I don't think she will be able to show me that amount of love. Being with her, we had our challenges, and I think every couple have challenges. The difference in our situation was that we were having challenges on TV, when most of the time people have challenges in their everyday challenges is not exposed to millions of people. So we had challenges in a moment where everyone could be watching us, and I think everyone has a certain opinion of what they see, but that's not always the reality of what we are living. So Avery is actually she's very grounded. Like, she's great fun. She's impulsive, I have to say that, but I'm impulsive too, so I can't say anything wrong about it. She's super stable. She has challenges, of course. We all have challenges. I have challenges, but she's a beautiful person. I can't say anything wrong. The way that she loved me, and the way that the relationship grew, and the love and the trust after what we went through on the show, yeah, I value that a lot.
All right, I saw one question. Someone is asking, what is your nationality? I know that you're... What's that?
Mauritian. I'm from Mauritius. It's a small island not far from South Africa, Madagascar.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now, another thing I wanted to... Well, let me ask you one more Avery question. Does Avery have custody of her daughter right now?
At the moment, no. There was a lot of issues around that, but she does not have custody of her eldest daughter.
She does not have custody of her daughter. Okay.
I know that there's a lot of things around that right now, but as far as I know, no, she doesn't have it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you're reading. Jeffrey said. Okay. So, do you, in your opinion, do you think that Avery should have custody of her daughter?
Totally. I've seen her, and that's the thing that people have not seen, and we tend to actually always have an opinion by seeing a small snippet of a 6-month relationship, or people talking a lot about what she is not, or what she is. I've seen her always trying to, because I've spent time, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, so let me retract back.
No,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but gosh, she really makes an effort to be able to be in touch with her eldest daughter. She tries to call her all the time. She wants to be in her life, but at the moment right now, she's in a situation that is very delicate, and yeah, for me, I totally believe she should have some say in that dynamic, because she's an amazing mom. I've seen her with her youngest daughter, and the amount of love is boundless.
So, okay, and then are you guys? So I had Tom on live a few days ago, and I asked him, like, I know that people can still remain friends. I mean, do you consider that you guys are still friends, or was it an ugly breakup? Or I mean, do you still text her at all or communicate with her at all?
Yeah, we do actually. We do tend to communicate still. We had, when the breakup happened, it was so sudden that there was a lot of, I think, there was a lot of hurt and pain around the breakup, and it took, I think, both of us a few weeks to be able to get to a space of, okay, you know what? Let's try to have some closure and talk about the situation that we've been through. And we were able to we were able to reconnect, and we were able to talk about it. And at the moment right now, we are amicable. And yeah, I think we have a good relationship. We don't text every day, but every now and then when we need to actually communicate, we do communicate like adults.
Gotcha. Okay, so are you dating anyone new right now in the last?
Oof.
Are you completely no?
No, God, no, please.
You taking a
I need a break.
yeah. Okay, so I mean, what about these? There's a lot of girls that are attracted to you that are messaging right now. So how long you think you're going to take a break for a few months and then look?
Dom, the reality is that I still love the girl. I still love her, so that's not gonna change for so soon. And we have departed, but we have departed because of circumstances. And the reason of the departure is because of, yeah, circumstances, long distance, the pressure of the show. So I still love her. So for me to move on, it will take a while. It's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And personally, that's, you know, everyone is different. Avery can move on very quickly or slowly, depending to the person. But for me personally, it will take a little while for me to decide, even think of a relationship in the near future.
So it's not over really. I mean, because you guys have broken up a lot, to be honest. Right? So I mean, it's there's a possibility you'll get back together, right?
I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no. You never know what can happen, but the love and the care is still there. The situation is that we can't be together, and that's it. And there's so much that has happened, I think, over the past 10 to 12 weeks that has put a lot of pressure on the relationship, and we just put a lot of pressure on the relationship. So I think it was best for us to move apart from each other for now.
Gotcha.
And
all right, we have a lot of rumors to clear up, right? So
yes.
Rumor number one, you didn't know you were in the show until you guys got accepted. Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
Okay, so you applied for the show, right? And then didn't get any feedback, or I mean, then they just were like, "Hey, you're on it. We're starting to film." Was it that quick?
Yeah, so Avery applied for the show. I actually didn't know about it, and it's afterwards when we got on the show that I came to know that we were on the show. So I didn't know until we were on the show.
Oh wow! I mean, are you happy you did it? I mean, I know that it is a rough journey, especially with the negative comments and everything. I mean, do you have any regrets for being on the show?
I think the only regret is because I was so mindful of being on the show because of the career that I have, and I was always mindful of when I was talking to her, and to the point that I was always tippy-toeing around and just being careful of what I say, and it came out as being very inauthentic. And it's because of the fact that it was me coming with my career on a show that is about relationship and how to treat people and how to communicate to people. And I was always playing it safe, not trying to say too much. I think I was always being, I was playing it safe, very, very safe, not putting her on the spot or anything as such, thinking that I don't want to be that person who's working with women and then people watching it and thinking, well, this guy is like just putting her down all the time, and you know, and she works with women. Different type of thoughts came in my mind at that point, and I was always very mindful of what I was saying to a point that it was inauthentic. So that's one of the things that actually I wish I knew how reality TV works, and how they need content to be able to create something. And I didn't give them that content because I was always on the safe side.
Now, yeah, and speaking of, there's a lot of people commenting about the pay. So basically, you guys do the show, as I understand it from talking to everyone, and then you get paid when the show is completed. Is that true? Like,
I don't know if I can comment on that, but there's an element of truth to it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that's like, as I worked in reality TV for 7 years, so it's like I won't. I'm sorry, I should have put you on the spot with that, but
That's all right.
I see a lot of the comments. You know, they don't get paid a ton of money, you know, and I'll just speak typically. I don't know what you guys get paid, but typically you don't get paid a lot of money in reality TV. You do it for the exposure, and it's your job to take that exposure and to make money with it. So, and then they usually hold the money until after it's all done. A lot of times we'll hold it as like ransom. Like, if you don't do this, we won't pay, you know, if you don't listen to what we say. I'm not putting those words in Ash's mouth. I'm just saying, that, guys, that's typically how it works from my experience. So the other, sorry, I have the coronavirus, but it's not that bad. Jeffrey, would you ever, yes, thank you, Jeff. Would you ever want to host a tell-all, Dom? Yes, Jeffrey, I would love to. Please let me know if you ever need anything. Okay, so there's rumors that she ghosted you, that Avery ghosted you and stopped talking to you until she learned that you got accepted to the show, and then all of a sudden she was interested in you again. Are those rumors true?
Yes, and so it she came back to share it with me, and we were clear that we were not going to come back because of that, and eventually we started talking after that, and then we decided to get back together. And she made it clear that she didn't want to get on the show until I was okay with it and until I was fine with being on the show. So we started dating after a week. And after knowing we were on the show, we started dating, and she didn't talk about it much. And eventually, it got to a point that I was curious. I'm like, so what is going on with that show? And she told me they were trying to contact her, and they were trying to ask her if we were still interested. And she gave me an idea of what it is. And I've actually never watched the show. I didn't know anything about the show. And until I was on the show, so I've never watched any of them, even coming to the show airing. So, but when she told me that this is what the show is about, so I'm like, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's see what's there. And we talked to the producers, and we're like, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's see, because it would be great. I can meet up with you. We can meet together. We can meet finally, and it'll be fun. And that's when we decided to get on the show.
So really, I mean, she wasn't talking to you, and then all of a sudden her interest really in dating you again was just to be on the show. Is that how it seemed? It's like,
I'd like not to think like that, but I think it can be seen in two different ways right now. Some people will think, you know what, she came back because of the show. And then some people will think, well, it was a way for her to reconnect back again, I think. So it's, for me, I went to the other side. I'm like, well, it's maybe a way for her to reconnect back. We reconnected, and yeah, that pretty much opened the doors to being on the show afterwards. But from that point and from that standpoint, people can have two different opinions right now. So yeah.
So she Soulja Boyed you. She wanted the exposure. And okay, I got you. So okay, now another rumor is that she broke up with you over a really stupid reason. And this last time, and what are you allowed to comment on that? That like something very stupid or petty is the reason why she broke up. Could you elaborate? Hey, baby.
Oh, Lisa.
Okay, coming in. Um,
Um,
okay, so I'm sorry. Can you comment on that? Like, is it a really
um,
petty reason why she broke up with you?
there's, I think I know which one you're talking about now. Uh, so Avery has a lot of trust issues, and I won't say a lot of trust issues, but there's trust issues with men, and that has created a certain dynamic because long distance relationship was a trigger for both of us, but mainly for her because of the fact that she couldn't see my life here and stuff. So anything wrong that will happen will be a little bit tense on both sides. We did broke up on a situation where Avery felt trust was questioned. So on that basis, she decided to break up. Whether if it's stupid or not, I think you guys will see it. I think I'll leave that to the opinion of people, but it's gonna come on the tell-all. I'm not allowed to. I don't feel like I'm not allowed to say it right now because it's gonna come, and then people can make their own judgment on whether it was, it's right or it was not it was wrong. If that makes sense.
Does she have a history of being petty though? I mean, as far as like little, I mean,
I won't use the word petty, but she is very. She's got a 2-year-old she's got a gorgeous 2-year-old, and I think whoever she wants to bring in her life, she has to be certain that it is going to be right for, of course, her and her daughter. And she's very cautious, and she's just very she's just very cautious of who she lets in her life. She is. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect, but she's got a good heart. Her intentions are always right, and I think that's what I came to realize. Her intentions are right. It's just sometimes, in moments of tension, it can come across a bit differently. But her intentions are right towards it. In the relationship. She was making an effort to be able to make it work.
would you agree though that maybe she should deal with some of her baggage from past relationships, like before she tries to get into a new relationship? Like, do you think that would be fair to say?
Um, there are elements that she may want to address, but that's it. It's not my space to say that she has to do anything or fix. If she feels like there's an issue or challenge, she needs to be able to realize that on her own and say, okay, great, I can't have a relationship right now and I need to work on myself. And I feel that's where we got to during that show, being in front of millions of people. That's the space where we had to embrace and to be okay with that. We both have a lot of stuff to work on, but yeah, I can't talk for her. If she's in that space that she needs to work on herself, I think that's kudos to her. But yeah, I can't really comment on that. I feel.
Okay. Isn't he a great guy? He's the best, right? All right. This is my. So I mean, this is just so you know this is how it goes for some of the people that don't know. We ask tough questions, but he's such a nice guy. So much nicer than that Jeffrey guy. What a douche.
Oh
so,
man.
we love you, Jeffrey. Okay, so how many times has Avery broken up with you?
Well, we were chatting about that a few weeks ago, and we always have like a little argument on. I said to her that we've broken up like 10 times, and she's like, no, we've broken up only 5 times. And I'm like, well, I'm a guy, so I try to double everything up, and a girl will always try to divide everything down. So let's come in between and say 7 times, give or take.
So has she broken up with you all 7 times?
No, not all 7 times. Maybe 3/4 of them was Avery, and the other one was.
She's been the breakuper.
Sorry.
Like 5 out of the 7 times she's been the. But you think it's 10 times?
Give or take, yeah, I guess. No, I'm maybe exaggerating too, because you know I can put an extra 2 or 3 on top, but I would say it's around a few, yeah, more than 5 times.
Now, would you still be interested in marrying her?
Wow, I think the smile tells you a lot right now.
What?
I think the smile tells you a lot.
Okay. A lot, yeah. That's a tough. I mean, if she's breaking up with you 5 to 7 times, I mean, obviously, like, do you see red flags?
Um, there, you know what? There's always red flags, every start of relationship because you're trying to build trust. And I feel like the both of our red flags were that we were so conscious of building trust, and everything that happened because of a long distance relationship, everything came up as, oh, that's a red flag. Oh, that's a red flag. So we were always, she was seeing red flags and I was seeing red flags on my side. And we talked about it. We were like, well, how different would that be if we were actually close to each other? Would it be different? And it would have been different because we would have been able to spend time together, and I would have been able to see her life and she would have been able to see my life. So I feel like with long distance relationship, you will always be thinking, oh, is there something happening? He's not calling me he told me to call me at 6 o'clock, and it's 7. He still hasn't called me. What is he doing? Is he with a girl? Is he with? So those are the things that comes up. Like then you start saying like those thoughts opens up different thoughts, and yeah, then you're like, okay, that's a red flag, and you just start creating stuff in your mind that makes you believe that there is something wrong, and it made me believe too sometimes there was something wrong, and when getting to know her after the show, we got to know each other very more. So after the show, we spent we spent a bit of time together. So that changed my perspective because trust was one of our main challenge. And my highest value is, and I feel she's the same. That's why we connected. Loyalty and loyalty is something very important to me, and trusting the person. And we came from that space, and she was looking for trust too. And I think that's how we connected. But at the same time, that was our biggest challenge. So, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that right now. I just lost myself.
Can I ask you this? A lot of the Google searches with you is people make comments about your eyes, and your eyes get really big at times. Like, some articles say that you have like a disorder or something, and I was like, no, I think he might just be intense at that moment. So do you want to defend all these rumors about like you kind of
eye stuff?
Yeah, you opening your eyes really wide a lot on the show? Like, is it something that is just a personality thing, or is there actually like some sort of disorder with your eyes?
It's so interesting you say that because so my mom was, people don't know that. My mom was meant to be on the show because my mom was spending her holidays here last year. And she was here for nearly 2 to 3 months in Melbourne. So I really wanted her to meet Avery. So mom was going to stay, but dad fell sick back home. So she had to fly back. So hence the reason why she couldn't be on the show, to be able to meet Avery. But when mom was here, she was telling me, why are your eyes so popping out? And she was saying it herself. And I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, you know what? It's just the season. I was thinking like, what the hell? So mom actually picked it up a few times already. I didn't know that. So we shot, and a few months later, I saw myself on TV. It's not the first time that when I first saw myself, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my eyes? And I started thinking myself, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? This is weird. I look like a fucking monster. So then a few people started, like, I got such a wrap around that. And then there's a few people actually very nice. There were some doctors a few of them reached out. They're like, you know what? I think you have, it's Graves. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, interesting. And I have hyperactive thyroid. Since actually I was mid-20s, I have a hyperactive thyroid. So I'm like, oh wow, okay, let me check it out. So I went to have a test, and my T3, T4, and TCH was like poof, off the roof, and they came up like that. It is Graves' disease, and yeah, so it's actually Graves' disease. It's like where your, from what I understand, the bulge in your eyes. It's like this. It pushes your eyes out, and it in especially stressful moments, my eyes goes off. So it's a condition that is reversible, of course, that can be taken care of. But it's on the show that I realized that this was an issue. I never realized it until then.
So you do have Graves' disease. Like
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, that's one good thing. I mean, if it didn't work out with Avery, at least you learned. That's positive. You get that taken care of. So okay, everyone's asking about America. You know, I have a lot of Americans, you know, watching. So, I mean, when are you coming to America? Have you been to Seattle? Have you met her daughter? Do you have a visa? Like, what is going on with all of that?
That's where I don't know if I don't know if I can say that right now.
Okay, so if I ask you if you ever been to America, is that
Yes?
you have been to America? Can I ask you if
Yes.
you've met Avery's daughter?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Maybe next week I'm allowed to say it, but I don't know if now.
Okay. Have you ever seen Seattle, Washington?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Do you have a visa?
10-year visa.
Okay, so you can come to America, and you may have been there. You may have met her daughter.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. Okay. So, okay, let me ask you some 90-day fiance questions. So, you're watching the show, obviously. Have you been watching the? Hey, Rocco! Rocco's here. Everyone's watching. Jeffrey and Lisa like that they're not in the hot seat, so they're egging me on. Okay. So about the cast. So when you're watching the show, what are your thoughts on some of the other cast members? Who are you friends with, and who is your least favorite cast member?
My least favorite cast member. I start with least favorite. I'm not a big fan of Big Ed. And I'm not a big fan. Nothing against him, but I'm just not a big fan. And my favorite one, actually, I'm friends with most of them. Soulja Boy is a guy that actually I really like. He's so chill. But no, I'm friends with all of them. So I'm not saying we're the best friends, but because I feel like if we do meet, we will become best friends. But it's a friendship that has really gone to, like, you know, we are close together. And because we went through a lot together, and we had to have each other's back sometimes, we did develop a strong bond.
Okay, so you're friends with Soulja Boy. Have you been following this interaction and this back and forth with Soulja Boy and baby girl Lisa? And who do you think is in the right and who do you think is the wrong, just in your opinion?
You know what? Actually, it's so bad. I don't follow anything. I don't follow any of the things that goes on with the rest of them. I do talk to them, but sometimes one-on-one, but I don't really follow what's going on. I think I have enough issues on my of my own life to deal with lately. So I'm like, I didn't need any other people's drama. But the last time I know, if we are talking about Usman and Lisa, the last time I remember that they were getting married. So I know that this happened. But that actually, I don't even know what's going on right now with them.
I guess, okay, so you don't follow the social media back and
No.
You watch the show, right? So, I mean, do you think that is a toxic couple, or do you think that that they have a future together?
If they have a future together, I think it depends on the intention. What is Usman's intention and what is Lisa's intention? Do they want to make things, I guess, work? Because it's going to be a challenge with, I know that the only way for it to work, I guess, is for Lisa to move to Nigeria. Because with Usman's visa, I don't think Nigerians are allowed to enter the States, from what my understanding. So I guess that's where it emanates, is the intention to move to Nigeria to make it work. What is the intention there? How is it going to work? Can it work? I think anything can work. I think it's like anything can work depending on what you really want. If I want things to work with Avery, we can make it work. If she wants things to work with me, she can make it work. It depends on the situation and circumstance right now. So if the circumstances are right for them and they feel like they can make it happen, why not try it? Once they make it happen and they are there, they will know if it's working or not. And if it's not working, they can decide, okay, you know what, we tried it, it's not working, at least we tried it. So
you said that,
sorry?
Ed, you said that Ed was your least favorite cast member. So specifically, and it doesn't sound like you really follow a lot outside of just what's aired on television, which is great because that's, that helps a lot of our viewers. So what is it specifically that you saw about Ed that you were like, you know what, this guy's a piece of shit? Not that you said that, but I mean, like,
no, I don't like the way that actually Ed conducts himself on social media, bringing young girls and talking to them on live TV and his live feed and stuff. I don't think it's not the right thing to do. And the way that the way I feel she used Rose for something. So that's how I feel. Like, everyone can be different. This is how I feel. I feel like he used Rose to get somewhere. And and that's the thing. Ed is quite rude, so that's how I feel. He's tried to get into the whole industry and to try to get where he's at the detriment of someone who really need Philippines. Like, if you go to the Philippines, I've been there. People are poor there. People really struggle, and they will do anything to be able to get out of the place that they are. And I'm really happy for Rose right now, because all that backlash, I won't say backlash, all what has happened on the show has brought her to a place where she has a great following, she has a great support, and hopefully that can help her on a personal level. So in that space, for me, Ed is maybe his values are a little bit off.
His values, yeah, I got you. Now, what about David and Lana? I mean, you've been watching that story. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that, I mean, the way that David's going about this, obviously he really loves her. I mean, would you be able to do that? And what are your thoughts on his pursuit of her? Did he keep going? I think he spent over $100,000 just to talk to her. I mean, talk about red flags. Like, what do you see in that situation?
So David and Lana, this was an interesting couple because I followed a little bit David. I didn't realize actually how invested he was in the whole relationship until the last minute, because they nearly it is like, because I was looking at him, I'm like, this guy is dating his computer from the very beginning,
right?
And that's the first thing you think of. And there was a comment someone made, like, it was quite funny. He must have a big RAM in his computer, because he's always pretty much like dating his computer. Yeah. So so in that space, it's very, that situation is a little bit, I won't say hard, dodgy, because I don't know what they are. I don't know the situation right now between them, whether they're together or not. But I know that I see David as this guy having in mind the outcome, and he wants to get what he's out there to get. and he manifested it so much that she came to him. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how if we work or not, but I find it very. It's really good entertainment. That's all I can say. It's really good entertainment because no one was expecting that to happen. No one was expecting Lana to come. Everyone thought that David was just this guy who was just living in his own little world, and maybe he is, but Lana came, and I don't know the situation where they're at right now, whether they are together or not. But yeah, the guy has balls actually to wait that long. I wouldn't be able to do that.
So Jeffrey wrote in a question and said, "Did you expect for last night's episode to end the way that it did?"
I actually didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it, Jeffrey. So Jeffrey, write in again and be a little specific. As far as what you're referring to. So speaking of Jeffrey, now who are you friends with from the cast? Like who are your? I know you said Soulja Boy. I mean, is that who have you become like closest friends with, and who do you not talk to?
So we tend to talk to each. Lisa, I've had a chat with her a few weeks ago. Jeffrey, I just realized I didn't have his number, so we exchanged numbers a few days ago. Tom, I had a chat with him a few days ago. Erica, we had a chat. Yesterday I talked to Steph. I talked to Avery yesterday too. And no, I still keep in touch with everyone. And we still keep in touch, like say hi just to check where we're at. And you know, I know Steph got a lot of backlash for a lot of stuff, but Steph is, you know, she's a great girl. Like when that's the thing, like when you get to know the people one-on-one, you realize like, oh shit, they're awesome. They're actually great people. They're fun to be around. They're fun to talk to. And I think there's a persona that you have to put on TV, and then that in real life, it's a different dynamic. It's the person in real life. And that's what you tend to see sometimes. Like when you talk to them, you're like, oh shit, okay. I shouldn't judge them. Because even I, you know, in that space, I was being judged. When I watched something at the very beginning, I didn't know anyone. You start to judge them, you're like, oh shit, okay, this is how it is. But when you get to know them, you're like, okay, that's very different right now from what I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm actually in contact with everyone.
Soulja Boy just joined. We got Soulja Boy, Baby Girl, Lisa, and Jeffrey all in here. So hello, Soulja Boy. Okay, so Jeffrey says, did you expect Varia and Jeffrey to be engaged on the show?
I saw that bit when Jeffrey, that was super cute. By the way, I've heard about, someone was telling me actually how cute it was for Jeffrey to, the way that Jeff you did. I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, you did a great job. But I don't know the outcome though. But I didn't expect Jeffrey to be asking Varia for her hand. I didn't expect that. I don't know if she said yes, because that's the part that I don't know. But yeah, so no, actually, I don't know much about the situation afterwards.
Is it true that there's a group text with all of the cast or most of the cast, and then some of the cast is not invited to that group text?
From my understanding, everyone was invited, and it was pertaining to the people who wants to join that group. Because at the beginning, there was a group that was created for the COVID-19 to actually come together to create some stuff that will give people hope and will keep people to a certain degree entertained. So everyone was invited. From my understanding, everyone was invited on the group, and most of us are on the group. Most of the cast members of now and previous cast members, most of them are on the group. Yeah, so that sometimes we keep in touch there by letting each other know what we're doing and what's going to happen. You know, if ever we want to put something together, that's how we all communicate. But there is something as such.
But Ed is it true that Ed is not in that group text? Like, is he like,
I'm not,
because he doesn't seem to participate. You guys seem pretty close, except for Ed, you know, and Williams. But I mean, Williams.
Again.
Oh, But I mean, is that true? Like, is he kind of think maybe he's bigger than everyone else, or how come no one's friends with Ed?
You know, I reached out for Ed a while ago, and there was the whole bullying thing going on, and at the moment there was, I wouldn't say not only bullying, there was a lot of things that were being said. So I'm like, this guy's getting a lot of shit, and I was getting a lot of shit at that time. I'm like, let's come together and have a chat, and you know, just start something that we can because I started I partnered with a bullying company, a company that's actually fighting bullies. So I was wanting to reach out to Ed, and I was like, well, why don't we do something together? And we have a platform. Let's try to do something together. So I wanted to ask him, let's try to work together. But he read my message. He never got back to me.
Douche. He's a douche. Okay. So, all right. So I always forget to get to the viewer questions. So, Iris MC67 said, would you refer to his situation with you and Avery to be like Tom and Darcy?
Sorry, Dominic, you can.
What's that?
I didn't catch you.
You know what? Let me take a different one. I'm sorry. How do you have, this is from Julia, how do you have a 9-year-old when marriage was 10 years ago? I don't know. I don't think that makes sense, does it? I can't do that.
What would have been though?
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes either I'm not reading them right or they're not. Let me ask you this.
Oh, they were wondering how come I have a 10-year-old when my marriage was 9 years ago?
Yeah, that's the question.
Oh, we were married nearly 11 years ago. No, actually 11 years ago, yeah. 11 years ago, we got, when I say 10 years, we've been separated, it's around 8 years, give or take right now. So I always say 10 years because it's easier to say 10 years than, well, I just say 10 years. So it's been since I was 30, we separated. We had Taj when I was 28, just turning 29. So it was a year after Taj was born that we separated. And yeah, that's why he's turning 10 actually in a few months.
Okay.
Do you want to say hi to my little man? He's here right now.
Who's that?
My little boy is here. That's him. Come on, baby. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello.
That's Dominic.
Hello.
How you doing? You spending time with Dad?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What are you guys doing tonight?
We are
Playing
Forza.
Forza.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing Forza. Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, what a great dad. That's awesome. Hey, let me ask you too. Have any? Because how bad have the gotten? Like, because I ask everybody this because I don't think people realize how severe they get. Like, has there been any death threats? Like, if people got taken it that far, where they're like, have you experienced that as well? Like some of the other cast has.
Yeah, I think everyone has experienced that. Yeah, I got actually mail sent to my house. I don't know where they got my address. And yeah, I got that too.
Okay, Tom said he got his tires slashed. I mean, have people been trying to attack you physically? And what did they sent something to your house? Is that what you said?
So they were sent to my house, but not really anything physical or from, you know, on the space of the fact that in Australia we don't that the show is not as big yet. So on that level, I was not affected, but I did get mail where people sent me, a few people, I don't know where they got my address. They must have got it from somewhere, and they did send me mail and stuff, death threats and stuff.
Wow, that's terrible. Okay, a lighter question: what celebrities have reached out to you since? Yeah, look at this little guy. So, and what about him? Like, what about him at school and everything? So how has his life changed? You know, and as people, I know that you're in Australia. I don't know how big it is in your hometown. Different everywhere. So how has his life changed? Has he been coming home saying, "Oh, the kids at school are treating me different. Like, is that part of your life now?
Not really. Like, you know, it's the same because here it's not as big as in the States. I'm sure like in the States it's different, but here it's a little bit different. I don't walk out and people recognize me. Actually, it's very simple. I still go out. No one really recognizes me, which is I think a good thing at the end of the day, because I have enough, I think, challenges I deal with on social media, and I don't want it to be replicated in public. You know, in my everyday life. So it's actually quite, on that level, it's good. It's not changed my life at all.
Oh, okay. And then protecting it, like, do you feel like you need to protect him at all, like from the exposure and the attention? Are people make his? I've experienced that. I have a 12-year-old son, and people bring him into things from my interviews. And I'm like, gosh, this has nothing to do with it. I mean, and obviously that's where you get the most defensive. I mean, do people attack him, like in your comments, and how do you deal with that? Like, does that make you angry, or do you just write it off?
I think it happened a few times, and I don't engage with that. Because at the end of the day, everyone will have an opinion, and I feel the more you engage with that, the more you will throw oil to the fire, and that will just take another level of it will just take you will get to another level. Most of the time I let people comment on those people that have commented, and a few times I saw comments being diffused by other people coming in and just commenting on why you're saying that, you know, just get a life and stuff like that. So with comments like that, I try to just let it die and, you know, let it diffuse by itself.
Okay, so what celebrities have reached out to you, and who has been like in your inbox? I'm sorry, I'll go back to that question. But obviously that a lot of big names watch this show. So can you tell me like who you've been interacting with, celebrity wise?
So lately, I will give only one name right now. There's a few, but lately I was thrilled to have Steve Aoki text me. I'm a big fan of Steve Aoki.
That's awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
a massive fan of the guy, and I think he's come. Well, hopefully things will get better, and he can actually come to Melbourne and you know, for one of his shows. But he reached out, and so that was awesome to see.
Do they want to like do anything? They're just saying, "Hey, I watch you on the show," or do they want to collab with you or bring you to one of their shows, or is that part of the conversation?
So no, it was not exactly like that. He just said, like, you know what, he was watching the show and he was letting me know that, and we just exchanged a few DMs, and he just said, "Oh, I'll be coming to Melbourne after that. That whole COVID is over, and just come down to my show." So that's pretty much how we left it.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, my celebrity crush will be always Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, always.
That's the one. Okay. Now she hasn't reached out yet.
No. Well, no, not really.
Taj, do you like do you like seeing your dad on TV? Or do you Yeah? Yeah. Do your friends at school, do they talk about your dad being on TV?
My friends?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell them a lot of stuff. They were shocked. They were actually shocked. You know? They were jealous. They were kind of jealous.
That's right. Do you like being on camera? Do you like being on TV?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the man right there. Okay, we got 30 seconds. So where fans keep up with you, Ash? And you know, what are you promoting? We got 20 seconds.
So right now, actually, we are creating a platform where we're connecting people, and I'm stepping away from relationship coaching, and we are just creating a platform of experts trying to come together to connect people together and to create something, a bigger vision, a better world. I'm all about connecting people. I'm all about bringing people together, and I love people.